Traditionally, market research firms, FMCGs, real estate developers, insurance companies, banks, town planners, government bodies, and NGOs have struggled to accurately assess the demographics, socio-economic classifications, and dwelling types of various locations. Often, these organizations have relied on assumptions or anecdotal evidence. tenGEN AI, powered by Tensorminds Private Limited, leverages advanced artificial intelligence to analyze satellite imagery from virtually any location on Earth. By meticulously extracting detailed information, tenGEN AI empowers organizations to make informed decisions and drive business growth. Get ready to be amazed as we showcase tenGEN AI's ability to unlock the secrets of Karachi city through satellite imagery. Witness firsthand how it analyzes, interprets, and summarizes the data in the next segment. All satellite imagery analytics, content creation, and audio-video production are provided by tenGEN AI, developed by Tensorminds. Welcome. This presentation explores the diverse neighborhoods of Karachi, Pakistan, using Google Earth satellite imagery. We'll examine housing types, settlement patterns, and the socio-economic fabric of this vibrant city. Here's a broad view of Karachi. Notice the sprawling urban landscape contrasting with the coastline and surrounding desert. Major roads and highways are clearly visible, shaping the city's structure. We'll zoom in to explore specific areas, revealing the unique characteristics of each neighborhood. Observe the density of buildings, varying from high-rise structures in certain areas to more spread-out residential zones in others. The presence of industrial areas and major infrastructure like roads and airports is also evident. This highlights the city's complex mix of urban development and economic activities. North Karachi shows a mix of planned and unplanned settlements. We see a grid pattern in some sectors, suggesting planned housing, while other areas exhibit more organic growth. The housing density is relatively high, and building sizes are generally modest. This area likely represents a mix of middle and lower middle-class communities, with occupations ranging from blue-collar jobs to small businesses. Potential socioeconomic class, lower middle to middle. Zooming in, we see a densely populated area with smaller, closely packed houses. This suggests a lower-income community, possibly with a high population density. The presence of small shops and schools indicates a self-sufficient local economy. Potential socioeconomic class, lower middle to lower. Surjani town displays a similar pattern of planned and unplanned development. Larger, more organized housing is visible in some sectors, while other areas show denser, smaller dwellings. This suggests a range of socioeconomic classes within the area, with a mix of middle-class and lower-income communities. Potential socioeconomic class, lower middle to lower. Kuta Ki Basti is a densely populated, unplanned settlement. The housing is primarily informal, with small, closely packed structures. This area likely represents a lower-income community, facing challenges related to infrastructure and living conditions. The presence of small businesses and religious institutions suggests a strong sense of community. Potential socioeconomic class, lower. North Nazimabad shows a more planned layout with a mix of housing types. While some areas have larger, more spacious houses, others show denser development. This suggests a mix of middle and upper middle-class communities with a range of occupations and businesses. Potential socioeconomic class, middle to upper middle. Nazimabad exhibits a similar pattern to North Nazimabad with a mix of housing sizes and densities. The presence of recreational facilities like a cricket ground suggests a relatively higher standard of living. This area likely represents a mix of middle and upper middle-class communities. Potential socioeconomic class, middle to upper middle. Liaquatabad shows a mix of housing types, with some areas exhibiting denser development than others. The presence of small businesses and religious institutions suggests a strong community fabric. This area likely represents a mix of middle and lower middle-class communities. Potential socioeconomic class, lower middle to middle. FB area shows a mix of planned and unplanned development. Some areas have larger, more organized housing, while others are densely populated with smaller structures. This suggests a range of socioeconomic classes, with both middle-class and lower-income communities residing in the area. Potential socioeconomic class, lower middle to middle. This close-up view of FB area highlights the presence of unplanned slums. The housing is informal and densely packed, indicating a lower-income community facing challenges related to infrastructure and living conditions. Potential socioeconomic class, Lower. Gulshan Iqbal is a relatively well-planned area with a mix of housing types. The presence of larger houses, parks, and commercial establishments suggests a higher standard of living. This area likely represents a predominantly middle and upper middle class community. Potential socio-economic class, middle to upper middle. Gulistan Johar shows a mix of housing types and densities. The presence of commercial establishments and educational institutions suggests a diverse community with a range of socio-economic classes. Potential socio-economic class, lower middle to upper middle. Naval Housing Society is a planned residential area with larger, more spacious houses. The presence of recreational facilities and a well-maintained layout suggests a higher standard of living. This area likely represents an upper middle class community. Potential socio-economic class, upper middle to upper. Korangi shows a mix of planned and unplanned settlements. Some areas have larger, more organized housing, while others are densely populated with smaller dwellings. This suggests a range of socio-economic classes, with a mix of middle-class and lower-income communities. Potential socio-economic class, lower middle to middle. DHA, Defense Housing Authority, is a planned, high-end residential area. The housing is spacious and well-maintained, with a significant presence of commercial establishments. This area represents an upper-class community. Potential socio-economic class, upper. DHA Phase 8 is still under development, but shows a planned layout with larger plots. This suggests a future upper-class residential area. Potential socio-economic class, upper. Clifton is a high-end residential and commercial area. The housing is generally larger and more luxurious, with a significant presence of upscale businesses and recreational facilities. This area represents an upper-class community. Potential socio-economic class, upper. Orangi Town is a large, densely populated area with a mix of planned and unplanned settlements. The housing varies significantly in size and quality, reflecting a wide range of socio-economic classes. Patan Colony, a nearby area, shows similar characteristics. These areas represent a complex mix of communities, with a significant portion of the population belonging to lower-income groups. Potential socio-economic class, primarily lower, with some lower middle. The site, Sindh Industrial Trading Estate area, is primarily industrial, with factories and warehouses. The surrounding residential areas, likely houseworkers employed in these industries, representing a mix of lower and lower middle class communities. Potential socio-economic class, lower to lower middle. Sadar is a historic commercial and administrative center. The Lines area, a nearby densely populated area, shows a mix of older and newer buildings. This area represents a mix of socio-economic classes, with a significant presence of lower-income communities. Potential socio-economic class, mix of lower, lower middle, and middle. Let's recap the insights we've gleaned from our satellite imagery analysis and summarize our understanding of how the city is divided into different socioeconomic classes. High socioeconomic status, SES. DHA, or Defense Housing Authority, is characterized by large, well-maintained houses, wide roads, and ample green spaces. The presence of upscale amenities like restaurants and branded stores further reinforces its high socioeconomic status. Clifton, while showing some variation, generally exhibits high-rise buildings, larger houses, and well-maintained infrastructure. The presence of the boat basin and upscale establishments suggests a higher SES concentration. Middle socioeconomic status, SES. Gulshan-e-Iqbal displays a mix of housing types with a relatively organized layout. The presence of commercial activity and a mix of building sizes suggests a middle-class population. North Nazimabad and Gulistani-Johar also show a mix of housing types and densities, indicating a range of socioeconomic classes, but the presence of commercial establishments and relatively organized streets points towards a significant middle-class presence. FB area exhibits a mix of planned and unplanned areas. Some sections have well-maintained buildings and infrastructure, suggesting a middle-class presence. Low socioeconomic status, SES. Orangi Town, Kuta Ki Basti, and Lines area are characterized by densely packed, smaller houses, narrow streets, and a largely unplanned layout. The lack of visible infrastructure points to a very low socio-economic status. Korangi and Sirjani towns show a mix of areas, with some sections exhibiting middle-class characteristics, while others show signs of lower SES, particularly in the density and layout of housing. Site area, while an industrial area, has surrounding residential areas with a mix of housing types, suggesting a range of socioeconomic classes, but with a significant portion appearing to be lower SES. Tensorminds' tenGEN AI offers unparalleled capabilities to analyze virtually any location on Earth. By processing satellite imagery, tenGEN AI provides actionable insights for a wide range of applications. Market research agencies can optimize fieldwork planning, while corporations and governments can improve civic facility planning and resource allocation. Internationally, NGOs can better target aid to deprived communities, and e-commerce platforms and FMCGs can gain a deeper understanding of their on-the-ground business realities. The possibilities are vast, extending to countless other sectors and applications, making tenGEN AI an invaluable tool for informed decision-making on a global scale. AI-powered explanatory satellite imagery analytics, content creation, audio and video by tenGEN AI by Tensorminds Private Limited. Thanks for watching. We look forward to your continued interest.